Yo, how's it going, everyone? It is that time once again. Back for the Dokkan early stream. We have honestly a bit of a surprise, I think, for a lot of people. I mean, obviously for me, the data download was a couple of hours ago, but it was at like 4 a.m. for me. So the fact that the 7-year EZAs are dropping today, after the details literally only got tweeted out yesterday. We had the data download. I was like, oh, okay. What's that all about?
All right, let's get this started.
Check the connections. I literally just did the training in the clouds a couple of times. There you go. The 7-year EZA is so hype they broke the servers. But yeah, it works out really nicely for me because they. I wasn't planning to stream tomorrow morning, and I'm fairly busy tomorrow, so I thought it'd be a typical case of data download today, and then they drop either tomorrow or Friday. But they're literally out now, so we're going to jump in and get going. Get these guys EZA'd, start testing them out straight away. So the weakness for the Super Saiyan 4s is Inhuman Deeds. So we've got to try and make a full LR Inhuman Deeds team. Although, funnily enough, are they like all... No. What was the original category for their thing as well? Oh, no, wait, they didn't... Yeah, no, they don't have... It's not a Super EZA. I don't know why I'm thinking about original category. Because that's the thing for Super EZA 1, you have to worry about, like, both things. Alright, so... Are any of these guys an actual Inhuman Deeds leader? You are for 4 key. Let's just do that, I guess. Oh wait, you got a... Yeah, actually, because your EZA makes your leader skill higher, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright, there we go. Let's jump in, let's get Gogeta EZA'd. So how... I'm sure you guys have got started already. Who are you guys doing first? And what are you... Oh, of course. Oh, it's an EZA, isn't it? So it starts on auto even though you've never done it before, which is silly. Right. That's the only thing I don't like about like the auto staying on is things like EZAs, because... Yeah, like, obviously stages you've never done before, like normal events, you can't auto them anyway. But EZAs, like, it will start on auto if the auto was on. Fortunately, for, like, stage 1, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people are going to do... Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta first, because... Obviously, he is an absolute god. I think I might actually just do, like... I might get his one done first, and then do his showcase, and then do the god's one. So that we can get the Gogeta video out, like, straight away. How do you get your HD Dokkan assets? There's someone called Kua on Twitter. He does thumbnails for people, including Goresh, I think, but he always posts the 4K, like, renders of the new characters when they come out. It's like K-U-W-A. I think his @ is, like, Kua Designs or something. But yeah, he posts the 4K renders all the time for new characters. But yeah, I've also got the looking at the data download thing that Proton posted. I've also got the 2 new Supreme Magnificent battle stages today. The 10th anniversary battle stages come out on Friday, but then there's also the GT Red Zone burst mode. I think I got confused when I first read that as well. I thought it was them finally bringing out the boss rush for the GT one, but it isn't, is it? It's just burst mode. I'm assuming it's for the last stage?
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah, it's funny that for a lot of these EZAs you can just use like the Beast team, even though it's not the right category, but Inhuman Deeds should be good enough to get it done. Yeah, first few stages are definitely very easy here. Plus we get our 2 separate EZAs with 66 stones. I mean, they were the 7 years were on the banners, weren't they? So hopefully people who didn't have them will be able to pull them. But yeah, people who missed out on like when they first came out.
All right, let's do this.
So happy I coined Tech Broly. Yeah, Tech Broly is super good. That's why I made the whole video about it. Like, he's probably one of the most valuable slot 1s at the moment. I mean, obviously the 7 years are now here to like kind of take over, I guess, but for Extreme he's still like the best slot 1 unit. But yeah, shout out to everyone who's here for the early stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also check out, I talked about it on the late stream last night, but I have a new Instagram set up. We're basically, I posted in the Discord last night and on the community tab for the channel, so some of you guys would have seen it. Changed the name of the Twitch to be in line with the second channel, which of course the link is pinned in the chat, for all my like non-Dokkan like variety gameplay. So I've got the second channel, the Twitch, Instagram, and the TikTok are all under the same name now for Ningen Plays. So go check it out. Obviously only just started it up, but we'll be posting loads of like different gameplay clips and all kinds of stuff there, highlights from streams and stuff. So check out the second channel or the Twitch as well for the other games that we do. No late stream tonight, but obviously it's for any time I do non-Dokkan stuff. Any big new releases and stuff like that will get played over there, and then clips and things will be posted on the TikTok and the Instagram. So do go check those out and give a follow if you use those platforms. Big shout outs to Little Blue as well for helping get it all set up. I'm still very much a dinosaur. I never really have used Instagram. Alright. So was that 4 or 5? It was 5, okay. So halfway through. Man, the 10 LR EZAs and only being 10 stages is so much better. With the right team as well, especially if you're just beating it in one turn like every time. Like, it just takes such a short amount of time to do the whole thing.
All right,
it's great. Remember MySpace. I don't know if I actually ever used that either, to be honest. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. I've got about 70 people in the stream, 14 likes on the stream. So if you haven't hit that like button, got to celebrate the release of the super hype 7-year EZAs. What's not to like about Bebo? I know I definitely heard people talking about it, but I don't think I ever used it. I know I talked about it before, how in the UK as well, I guess it's different, because like in the US, even like years ago, in the early days of the channel, people would be talking about how like no one uses Facebook anymore, but over here, it was still a lot more. Like I guess a lot of people just, it's more so, I guess people use Messenger and stuff, but like. I've just got to try and keep up. A stage, LR STR cooler, good, huh? Oh, LR cooler good for this stage. Is he on Inhuman Deeds? Yeah, I don't really ever use it anymore. I just use Messenger to keep in contact with some people. But the actual, like, in terms of, like, Facebook itself, I basically never go on it. I just use Twitter mainly for posting stuff about, like, the channel and that, and keeping up with the official Dokkan account and other bits of news and stuff, but... Is he on Inhuman Deeds? Because he never kills... Because isn't Inhuman Deeds mainly people that have killed, like, their own allies? And I'm pretty sure he's not. Don't think he's on there. 11 damage. Yeah, MSN. The good old days. Right. Getting there. Still give me a Frieza friend. I want a Vegeta friend.
Let's do this.
Do you only fight Gogeta for the last stage, or is it the last two? He's not on Inhuman Deeds. Yeah, I didn't think so. No, I never really got into World of Warcraft when it first came out. My cousin used to play it a lot, but... I played Final Fantasy 11 a bit, like the first MMO one. But yeah, never really got massively into any MMOs back then. I mean, it's not like I play any now, but obviously a lot more games are online and support a lot of players now. I never got a dupe for the gods, but rainbowed the Super Saiyan 4s on the initial banner. Nice. Yo, Apathy, how's it going? Yeah, I think I got 3 copies of both during the 7th anniversary, so they're both at 79%. I remember, actually, it was an episode, we were doing the podcast. It was back when it was, so if it was the 7th anniversary, it was back when it was still the 5.9, like, version of the podcast. And yeah, I can't remember what had come out. There was obviously something where more stuff must have come out that day, like more missions and stuff, so I could get more stones. And then yeah, during the podcast, like while somebody else was like talking while we were going over one of the topics, I did another rotation on the Gods banner, and I didn't have them, and I literally pulled in that 3+1 rotation. I pulled 3 copies of them. It's like someone was in the middle of they were in the talking about whatever we were talking about at the time, and then you could just hear like me in the background be like, and then yeah, because I got a copy of them, and then it was on, I don't know which multi it was, whether it was the 3rd one or the free one or whatever, but I got a copy of them finally, and then on one of the other multis in the 3+1 rotation, I got 2 copies of them in the same multi. So in that like 3+1, I went from not having them to having them at 79%. Which, funnily enough, is what happened when... Do you remember when we did the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest summons? But obviously for Global, they were in... Was it like April or something? When Dragon Fist Goku and Harudegan came out. I pulled 3 Harudegans in like one 3+1 rotation after not getting him for like... I think we did like... I did like 600 stones and didn't get him. And then the next 3+1 got 3 copies of him. Yeah, that's the thing. I never played RuneScape either, but it's one that I heard lots of people talking about. Same with Habbo Hotel. Definitely I've heard of it, but never actually used it myself. Right, stage 10. Yeah, I remember that, yeah, after not knowing that for years. I can't remember where I heard it from. Was it his, like, the thing, they did the thing for 5ix9ine where we all did, like, mini interviews with Toon, so it was, like, get to know the members of 5ix9ine. I don't know if it was, the story was from Goresh's one of those. But yeah, his whole online presence, like, online screen name of being Goresh just came from him playing World of Warcraft and having no idea what to call his character, so just press the button for the game to auto like make a character name for you, and it came up with Goresh. Broly. Richard 9th anniversary, I had the Monkey Boys at 90%. Proceeded to pull 12 copies of them before my first beast card. Oof. Yeah, that's always the worst thing about these like big banners when new characters come out, especially for the anniversary. Like they put on all the like Dokkan Fest LRs and previous anniversary characters. But if you're someone that's been playing for a long time and been around for like the other multiple banners that they've returned on, so then it's like the 10th anniversary having, you know, like the 8th anniversary characters on the banner. It's like, well, I don't need any copies of them. They've been out for 2 years. Like, I've already got all the copies of them. Didn't get them all like the day they came out, but like over the 2 years that they've been on multiple other banners, I've pulled all the copies of them. So the anniversary banners always have all these big Dokkan Fest LRs, but a lot of the time, unless, apart from for me, the 9-year ones, because obviously they're the most recent ones and haven't been back on as many banners, already have everything else on the banner, like, fully maxed out. Right, nice. Thumbnail guy just sent me the Gogeta thumbnail. We're just about to finish off Gogeta. Perfect timing. Well, we've got to do the actual video first, but... Now, the question is, what setup do we use? Obviously, we're going to use Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the team. Obviously not going to use the gods on the team because they're not EZA yet and they're going to get their own separate video, but alright, so we've got our mission done to beat stage 7. What am I doing? Growth, awaken, super physical LR. There we go. Extreme Z Awaken.
Excited.
The Super Saiyan 4s. Oh boy.
All right. Time for some.
Yeah, it probably is just Gogeta's team, because then we can have the potential, if we can get that rotation to work out, get the crazy Gogeta active skill turn to buff Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Because yeah, I already made up this team build. Like, this team's probably going to be one of the best teams in the game. But obviously we can go ahead and take off them for this. And put on... I've got you as the slot 1. We're going to use them as the slot 1. So we'll put on Gogeta, because he does give a bit of support as well. There he is. Might as well, at this point, I might as well get rid of having a 200%. What happened to Dokkaning responsibly? I mean, not only can you not do that for EZAs anyway, because the character's fully awakened, so any characters with the same name would have a 1% chance to raise their SA, but there are no farmable Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta characters. There is no way to Dokkan responsibly for these guys' super attacks. But I mean, that's what I've said many times. I know you're joking anyway, because you can't farm them, but this is what I've said now over a while, right? Over these last couple of years, is like, I Dokkan responsibly, like back in the day, so that I didn't have to now, right? That's why I have like 2,000 Kais. Right, let's go. So, I guess we should do like a red zone stage, but which one? Which is the version of Jiren that doesn't have the rotation locking? No, this one has locking, and then Jiren disables dodge. And then the Goku one. Oh no, they both do that. What about Future Trunks one? Oh, actually, yeah, the Future Trunks one for, is it the Vegeta family? The one that has the healing ones at the end. Yeah, because they survive. They live for so long. Although they probably won't against Gogeta, but... Alright. Let's hope we don't get stuck with a stupid, like, they're in slot 7 or something.
Alright, let's do this.
Alright, well, we have them on turn 1. So, and they do have an intro, so we're going to have to get that in here. Alright, I'm going to change the overlay over just so... for the showcase. Yeah, I've got the Gogeta one ready as well. Let's go. All right. Here we go. Actually, let's get the OST. Put a better OST on. Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so the EZA that we have all been waiting for is here. We're going to check out the physical Super Saiyan 4s, fuse into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. They of course have an intro animation. We are using them on the new AGL Gogeta team, because of course they get the full 220% leader skill from him. We got Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the team, who obviously is going to make a crazy link partner for them. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So obviously the big thing for these guys is the fact that we want to be able to use them as a slot 1 for the team. Now when it comes to linking, as you can see, linking them up with like the AGL Vegeta, they don't share a lot of links with him, because these guys have shocking speed as opposed to Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So yeah, it's not a great first turn for them for Ki, unfortunately. Although Gogeta will give extra Ki when we pick up Rainbow Orbs for him. So I guess we can grab these for them. But yeah, let me break down what they do. Obviously, we only got the details yesterday, so we have talked about it a bit. But their leader skill, they only gave them 1 extra Ki to the 30% buff, right? So they're still a 170 lead for Fused Fighters and GT Heroes. And then they give an extra Ki and 30% attack and defense to Kamehameha. Not the craziest for a leader skill, but I imagine people are not going to be using them for a lead really anyway. Now their super attacks, definitely very surprising. They made the 18 Ki greatly raise attack and defense as an infinite stack, which I was kind of hoping they would. But they also made the 12 Ki greatly raise as well, which is really good. And then you can see we have 77% damage reduction and a guaranteed additional super on the first turn. Then we get 2 Ki and 100% attack and defense, and guards all attacks for 7 turns. Their basic effects are 200% attack and defense and 2 extra Ki per type Ki sphere obtained. For every Ki sphere obtained, they get attack and defense 10%. So obviously, again, on this turn, not being able to pick up a lot of orbs is not really ideal. And that's up to a max of 77%. So if you pick up 8 orbs, that gives them their full buff for the turn. For every rainbow orb they pick up, they get a crit chance of 10%. And then when attacking with 17 or more Ki, they get an additional super. And then when attacking with 20 or more Ki, they get attacks effective against all types and another additional super. So we are going to miss out on that here, because obviously we do not have a huge amount of Ki. But we will get a little bit extra from the Gogeta support here at the end. But their start of turn 1 defense is 350k, so bear in mind they have guard and 77% damage reduction. So we're doing a red zone. This Goku Black only super attacks for 1,000,000 damage, so obviously we don't need to worry too much here. But even in some of the more difficult events like the Formidable Foes thing, if we take like a 4 million damage super attack, take off 77%, that's 920k. Then you factor in guard, which roughly shaves off almost exactly half. Even if they got super attacked in slot 1 by a 4 million damage super on turn 1, they would take probably at most it would be like 200 to 300k, which is pretty good, because obviously these teams very much like the 10th anniversary teams very much need like these slot 1 units, right? So we can go ahead and do this. That gives them a little bit of extra Ki. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite get them to 20. So they will be missing out on one of the 3 extra supers. It just is what it is with the bad orb field, I guess, for turn 1. Because realistically, there was no one else on this turn that we could put in slot 1. So, and they don't have a lot of links active, because remember, things like Saiyan Raw for these guys are an extra 10% defense. The more orbs we pick up, the more defense we get. So of course we will try and get Super Saiyan 4 Goku linked up with these guys as quickly as possible. Well, starting off with Super Saiyan 3. And of course, even in his Super Saiyan 3 form, he's going to be giving them 50% extra defense. So it'll be interesting to see how that stacks up for these guys. So they got the 2 additional supers. They didn't get the hidden potential though, did they? So not the craziest turn 1 for them, which I guess is unfortunately something that can happen if you get unlucky with Ki. But it allows Vegeta to be fairly safe here in slot 2. And then obviously STR Gogeta at the end can get a little bit of build up here. We're fighting an extreme class enemy anyway, so he's got guard. and gets a little bit of build up here by doing his attacks. I would say we just got unlucky with the orbs, but obviously not a crazy impressive turn 1 from them, but that is unfortunately due to the orb situation, which, I mean, there's nothing you can really do about that other than if you wanted to just reset and like quit and start again, but it is what it is. So we've got Vegeta for slot 1 for this turn. See, look at all these orbs on this turn that we could have given them. And there's no point saving them because they're not going to survive the turn. So we'll go ahead and do this. Well, he's not going to survive the turn, I should say. So we'll go ahead and do that. Grab these for you. And then, yeah, Goku probably will get to attack, but I'm not sure. But yeah, the best build for both of these guys, like, they can pretty much get guaranteed crit. They have built-in crit, especially when they transform. They get crit chance with orbs collected. So you want a mix of additional and dodge. And then you can kind of go either way with it, because they have so many built-in additional attacks already, they don't need a really high level of additional. Because as most of you know, I'm sure by now, but the hidden potential additional gets checked for every time your character attacks. So if a character has built-in multiple attacks, it means they have multiple chances to trigger the hidden potential. So let's say if you have 10 additional, that means you have a 20% chance to do an additional attack. If your character attacks 4 times, it means it will check for that 4 times. So if you fail the first 3, but then succeed the 4th, you'll still then do that additional attack. So the more attacks a character has built into their normal passive, the more likely you are to get an additional from the hidden potential. So you don't need to give them like 25 additional, because that's a 50% chance. Obviously with 4 attempts to get it, you're gonna hit it with one of those attempts. So it doesn't need to be that high. But it's all RNG at the end of the day. I mean, even with it at 25 and a 50% chance, you could still miss it 4 times. It's unlikely, but... Alright, so turn 2. Starting the turn at 915k. Now, the thing is, this is where, obviously, it becomes tricky, because even with their original release, it's the case that turn 2 was kind of the scary one. I just realised I have the wrong Future Trunks Saga up. Did I have the Goku one up? I was expecting to see Zamasu and not Rose. Where's Future Trunks Saga? Yeah, there we go. So he supers for 2.5 million. So the problem is with these guys having 900k defense and guard in slot 1, but no more damage reduction, they actually would take some damage in slot 1 from a super attack here. Also, the orbs are terrible again, but why is it on the turns that these guys are on we can't get any orbs? I mean, I could do this, but like Vegeta obviously in slot 1 is not particularly great. He has guard, but do that. Then we can do that. So then once we've picked up the orbs, we're at 24 key, they're over 1 million defense. But if we get super attacked here by Rose in slot 1, that would be bad. And of course he does. $839k, nice. So yeah, I mean that is the problem, is if you're not you're not able to get decent orbs with them, then not really ideal. But we'll jump straight back in here. Now the question will be, can we get them on turn 1? Yeah, if they had the damage reduction for 3 turns, I feel like that would be too OP. Oh good, they're in slot 7. And this is going to be the problem. Yeah, imagine. People are like, no, actually they're terrible. So try and get back on track here. Alright, so we've got them on turn 1 again, and we've actually got them with Goku this time. So let's go ahead and do this. Be interesting to see what their turn 1 defense is here with the 50% buff from Goku. Oh, and they get to attack first in slot 1 this time as well. So also, of course, they have the new idol animation. In base, it's not really anything that crazy. Like, there you go. It's just them, like, taking the stance. But Again, though, slot 1, like, what is going on with the key on these turns? Bruh. As we get 4 orbs, we've got the support from Goku, so they're at 5, basically 500k defense start of turn, which is obviously very, very good. But yeah, really getting unlucky with the orbs, which I guess is an important thing to note, I suppose. Like, at the end of the day, they're not perfect units who are going to be absolute gods every single time. And that's a pretty good example of that, right? Is that you get a turn with bad key, and then it's not exactly crazy. But the additional super attack, basically at 10 mil. So they're getting a guaranteed additional super on turn 1, regardless of what happens and how much key they're able to get, is really good. Because it means you know you're getting a guaranteed extra stack, at least. So then they should take, I guess they should take double-digit damage from this, right? Oh. Or a single-digit damage, okay. So just straight up 9 damage from that. I'll take that. But yeah, I guess they put more of the effort into the Gogeta sprite, because I have seen what his looks like, and it does look very cool. Yeah, imagine the turn when we have, like, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta out, AGL Goku is already in Super Saiyan 4, and then we have, like, the AGL Gogeta in slot 3 and we use his active skill. Like, how ridiculous that turn is going to be. But yeah, that's one thing to bear in mind. Like, this is why I talked about this in previous videos before, but, like, I don't, you know, quit out and be like, oh no, I'm just going to restart the video. I mean, I could do that, right? Like, restart the video all over again from the beginning, just to try and make them look as good as possible. But at the end of the day, like, this happened on these runs, so it's a realistic showcase of what can happen when you use them. Because at the end of the day, there are going to be times where they're not these absolutely perfect game destroying beasts, and unfortunately we got an example of that with the orbs. I mean, with the first run, I could have maybe, I don't know how much they would have taken in slot 1. That Rosé hits for over 2 million. They still had guard, and they had, after picking up the orbs, like 1 million defense. So they potentially would have taken less damage than Vegeta, but obviously it's it just is what it is. But yeah, STR Gogeta should be all good here. We're going to finish him off. Yeah, I thought we would get the extra additional as well. Let's go. Is that it? Not quite. Which, I mean, fair enough. At least this Vegeta gets a additional super. But yeah, once you get past turn 3, it's like I said at in that initial run, right? Is turn 3 was always their biggest weakness. Before, it was because they lost guard, whereas now it's because they don't have the damage reduction anymore. But obviously, with the right rotation, see, now we're at 1.1 million defense and they have guard. We can pick up 7 orbs. So we grab those, and then that puts them to 1.28 with guard. So yeah, this Rosé, like I say, he hits for, where is it, 2.5. So it's still quite a lot, because if guard is taking off exactly half, that means he's still hitting for just over 1 million. And these guys have just over 1 million defense. So they will take damage, but shouldn't die. So let's do this, and let's do this. And that's if he super attacks in slot 1, of course, which a lot of these bosses are in these tougher events. But as long as we get to super first, we would be taking double-digit damage. But yeah, see, 523k. I mean, that is a lot, but with the new meta and like the HP that some of these teams have, it's not as crazy, I guess. And also, you know, we have certain HP conditions for certain characters. I mean, we can literally like giant ape with Vegeta on the next turn now because of this. To 14 mil. I mean, additionals for 14 mil that are all greatly raising attack and defense is pretty good. We got the full 24 key with them as well, so we get the other extra super. Didn't get a lot of rainbow orbs, so they don't have a crazy crit chance. But and then, of course, the big question with these guys, as it is with any stacker that can then transform, is going to be the question of do you transform with them straight away, or do you try and continue like stacking them for as long as possible? Because obviously the longer they stack, the more powerful Gogeta's going to be. I suppose it's interesting. Well, I guess because we'll be doing multiple videos with these new guys, so like we'll see how it goes. But it will be interesting to see how good Gogeta is if you just get him out straight away. Because he has a scouter at all times, which is just insane, right? No restriction whatsoever. He just has a scouter, which is really, really good. So yeah, I think we probably will. We have the other, yeah, we're floating the Gogetas, so the AGL Gogetas. They don't share any links, which is kind of funny. But yeah, let's do this. So we can negate a potential super. I don't really care about the damage, so let's grab those. Yep, see, this guy does love. I remember now from doing this run the first time that this STR Rose absolutely loves supering in slot 1 of the turn. So but yeah, the Giant Ape not going to do a crazy amount of damage, but obviously doing its job here of negating that enemy super attack, so that once we come out of the giant mode we can't be supered. Dodge from the Giant Ape, you love to see it. It's always funny when units that literally can't take damage then get a dodge. Hey, got a crit, that wasn't that bad. Alright, so now we want to try and, if possible, because I don't know if we will kill this turn, I'm going to try and save orbs for the Super Saiyan 4s if we can, but again, the field isn't that great. I should have bought Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks instead of STR Gogeta for the orb changing. But yeah, I think we probably will go ahead and transform into Gogeta straight away, I think, just to see what he can do, like with the bare minimum. So we've had 2 turns of getting the stacks with the base form supers. I mean, I guess it depends, right? Because obviously, when you transform into Gogeta, you get 77% damage reduction for 1 turn again. So, like, if we don't kill him here and we start the next turn, he's basically almost dead, then I feel like there's no point wasting it. Although, I guess, to be fair, it depends on the slot 1 situation, because he will probably super in slot 1 again. So it all depends. If he's not attacking in slot 1, that would be ideal, but I don't think you don't get to see that very often with this STR Rose. There not being any attacks in slot 1 at all. As he does like to super so early. Okay, the friend Vegeta just going ham here. Crit and kill him. Yeah, he would obviously crit as well. See, that's what I mean. It feels like a waste to use Gogeta here because... Okay, well, I guess we don't have to use Gogeta, but we won't get any more stacks. But they're at 1.8 million defense though, which is pretty good. But I guess we just go ahead and do this, because then the Giant Ape kills him, and then we just have Gogeta with Goku, which is what we want. So yeah, Giant Ape gonna take him out here. The reason I picked this stage is because these guys, the Goku Black and Zamasu at the end, have so much HP and they heal. Which, of course, I thought was the Goku. I thought I was picking the right one. We're actually doing the Zamasu one. So, but he has a lot of HP, so he has 560 million HP. He supers for 4.8 million. So obviously the Gogeta, especially with his strength being the ability to have the Scouter and the super attack counter, is going to be looking pretty good here. We get the heal from Goku as well. So now with the extra support, Remember that Goku gives 70% defense and is giving 10% damage reduction as well. So these guys, honestly, we could probably get away with not transforming them, but like we are going to. I should probably save. Should I save your active as well, or do we just want to see that straight away? But yeah, we're going to see like the quote-unquote bare minimum for Gogeta. So let's go ahead and get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta out here. You see his updated animated sprite.
You're the last person I expected to suggest fusing. This is going to be special. I can feel it. Fusion! I'm neither Goku nor Vegeta. I am the one who will destroy you.
Alright, so there we go. He's got the same massive aura as the Super Saiyan Gogeta. And then look at that, he has the taunt. And it keeps playing as well. A lot of them have like they move once and then that's it. But yeah, just sits there with the... Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, so Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta massively raises attack and defense for 4 turns. Mega colossal damage and has an action break, and then his 12 key is massively raise attack and greatly raise defense for 1 turn and colossal damage. And then his passive damage reduction 77% for 1 turn, 300% attack and defense, 2 extra key per key sphere obtained, attacks effective against all types, guard, high chance to crit, launch an additional super, and guaranteed scouter. For 4 turns from his entry turn, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. For every key sphere obtained, attack and defense 10%, up to 100, so 10 orbs gives him the maximum buff. For every rainbow key sphere obtained, he gets crit chance and damage reduction 10%. When you use the active skill or you get 24 key, he gets an extra 50% attack. When he receives an attack, you get an extra 50% damage reduction within that turn if his HP is 50% or less. And it's a one-time only thing, so if you're on low health, he can tank even better as well. And then when you receive a super, great chance to counter, and you get a guaranteed counter one time only if the enemy's HP is 50% or less. So when the enemy's HP is 50% or less, he automatically counters their super attack once, which is kind of crazy. So there you go. We've got 4 links with the Goku: Super Saiyan, Saiyan Raw, GT, and Fierce Battle. We should have Kamehameha as well, right? Yeah, once we actually get enough key. So yeah, we can get 7 orbs here. So we get our 24 key, and then that gives... is he actually super... Is he not even super attacking on the first turn? That's crazy. So he's got 2.1 million defense. He has guard, 77% damage reduction, an extra 10% from Goku, so it's 87%. And then I don't know how many rainbow orbs I picked up. It might have only been 1, but that means he still has 97% damage reduction on this turn. So he literally cannot take damage from anything, which is kind of funny. I guess, do we want to transform you here as well? I guess we could and just not use the active skill straight away. I can't believe he's not supering on this turn. I should have turned the animations off. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not super attacking on the first turn. But yeah, the big thing about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is that, remember, he massively raises attack and defense for 4 turns on the 18 key super. Massively raises a 100% raise. And because it's for 4 turns, it means on the next turn that he comes back around, he still has that buff. So his defense is going to be absolutely ridiculous on the next turn. So yeah, we want to see him without the Gogeta buff first, obviously. So let's do this. We'll get a chance to use the other Gogeta and use his active skill at some point anyway. So yeah, I don't want Gogeta to do too much damage, but all right. So obviously we're going to tank everything for double-digit damage, regardless of what happens. We know he's not supering because we have a scouter, but we're going to tank everything for double-digit damage. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, not so great against the AoE, unfortunately. Let's see what we get here. 40 million for the first turn. Okay. And of course we have an action break as well, which if that's the AoE, that would be really good. Oh, it is. Let's go. So 40 million into a 30. His 12 key super animation is so cool as well, with the clone that Kamehameha thing. That was awesome. There's the crits, because we're getting guaranteed crit because we're at 24 key. Oh no, sorry, it's 50% extra attack. But we've got the crit chance from his base. He has a high chance to crit anyway, and we've got the rainbow orb. So, big crits. Yeah, we action break the AoE, which is perfect, because that stops Super Saiyan 4 Goku here taking another like 140k or whatever it was AoE before he gets to attack. I still can't believe he didn't super on the first turn. Our perfect opportunity to get that super attack counter. But I guess if he supers on Gogeta's next appearance, because he massively raised his attack for the 4 turns, his super attack counter is going to do some ridiculous damage. It's funny though, these bosses now for these newer stages have so much HP. Seeing characters hit these kind of attack stats, like everything that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta did in slot 1. Goku obviously doing a decent chunk of damage as well, and then this Gogeta, like, we've only done 2 bars of his HP. I mean, it'll be 3, I guess, by the time this guy's finished attacking, but... Plus, it'll be interesting if you get a rotation at a certain point where there's no attacks in slot 1, and obviously because you have the Scour, it will show you where the super attack could be. If you can get Super Saiyan 4 Goku to attack before Gogeta as well, then he gives him the 44% buff from his 18 key super. It's just, obviously they're rare. There are some events, actually, one of the new red zones. Is it one of the Frieza ones, or Beerus one? Where, like, he very rarely just doesn't attack in slot 1, and the first attacks are in slot 2. Like, that kind of turn would be crazy, because you could get the buff for... Gogeta's attacks and get an extra 44%, which would be crazy. Right, this is not a good turn. I think what we have to do here is probably just do this. Oh yeah, let me turn the animations off here. Yeah, probably have to do this. I mean, we can't do anything about the AoEs, but if the AoE goes off first, at least Great Ape Vegeta gets hit by it. But then obviously the problem is these guys won't have any links. I suppose we're not too worried about them doing damage, but... Trying to save the rainbow orbs for Gogeta. Get that support, there we go. Alright. So Vegeta's going to get a bunch of counters here now. Shred down this HP a little bit. I mean, Fusion Zamasu has... What is it exactly? He has, yeah, 560 million. I think I did say before. But yeah, 560 million HP. I think the AoE... Gogeta should be... STR Gogeta should be fine. He's built up. He should be fully built up at this point, so he's going to have quite a high defense, yeah. So he just takes double-digit damage, that's good. We get a bunch of counters. This is, again, like, we know, in all the debates of, like, Gogeta versus Vegeta for the actual 10th year characters, like, we are seeing, again, one of the reasons why, like, Vegeta just puts out so much more damage doing all these counters. Obviously, you can't undersell how crazy, like, the Gogeta active skill turn is so good as well, right, with the massive buff to everybody. I mean, Gogeta probably just kills him in the next turn now, right, because we're going to be able to use the active skill. Gogeta should do a bit of damage, depending on how many supers he gets, like, but Zamasu is below 50% HP now, right, so Oh yeah, and then of course he's attacking how many times at the end? So it's another like 4 counters here. But yeah, this is crazy. Like these EZAs are just so good. Like I know there's been actually there hasn't really been that many bumps. I think it's like people being a bit disappointed with some of the EZAs. I was going to say there's been some bumps along the way, but I don't think there really has in terms of anything substantial. Like the 10th anniversary is by far the best celebration in the history of the game, and it's not even close. Like absolutely insane. Yeah, typical both the Gogeta turns, he's not super attacking. Okay. Alright, well, let's do this. So remember we had the massively raised for 4 turns. He was at 2.1 million defense on the start of turn 1 after fusing. Then he massively raised his defense. So he's at 2.3 now. That's not that much. That's not as much of an increase as I was expecting, actually, to go from, because what was he at, 2.1? So he only went from, I guess we haven't picked up the orbs yet, because I think, did he have the 2.1 after we picked up the orbs? But yeah, the active skill can be activated when facing one enemy whose HP is 50% or less, or when our own HP is 50% or less. But obviously we can use AGL Gogeta's active skill first, which gives everyone the 54% buff. I kind of want to see what his stats will be, but I feel like if we do the active skill, we're just going to kill him. But yeah, see, now he's at 3.6 million with guard. Obviously, it's not his first turn anymore, so he doesn't have the 77% damage reduction, but he still gets 10% per rainbow orb obtained. So he's at 360-ish. We could grab these orbs here, and that would give him 40% damage reduction as well. Or grab the 9 orbs, which would give him more stats, and he would still have 30% damage reduction. But let's go ahead and do the active skill. I feel like that is going to kill him, but we'll see. This is one of my favourite animations in the game as well. It was probably my favourite animation in the game when this unit came out. I just love it when they do the fusion animations and they have the flashes of like the Goku and Vegeta. I think that's just really cool. And then this frame where it like his like face goes like that zoom in. That just looks so good. Yeah, okay. Literally did the damage cap. So 999 million. Yeah, goodbye. Or 99 million. Which is, as I'm sure you guys probably know at this point, is just the highest damage that the game can show you that it does. It actually potentially does more damage than that, but that's the highest it can actually show, is just all 9s. So there you go, goodbye. So that was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like I say, we're going to try him out in a bunch of different events and some other teams. Definitely is an absolutely fantastic unit. We saw in this video, of course, though, there can be situations, especially if the orb field isn't looking so good, where you could get caught out. But yeah, he's absolutely crazy. Once you transform, we didn't get to see it in this turn because for some reason Zamasu didn't super on either of the turns that Gogeta was on. But Guaranteed Scouter has an insane amount of value. And of course, he has a 70% chance to counter that super attack. And then even if he doesn't counter it, depending on, like, if it was that second turn, where he's at, like, over 3 million defense with some Rainbow Orbs to give him damage reduction, even if he doesn't counter the super, he's just going to tank it anyway. So he's absolutely ridiculous. So there we go. That is going to be it. Let me know what you guys think of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta down below in the comment section. Obviously, he is an absolute beast. And we'll get on to Awakening the Gods next as well. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one. Okay, so let's get the... Yeah, he didn't even have the stats from picking up orbs. So yeah, what do you guys think? Is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta good enough? Absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, like I say, we had that weird run at the beginning and then jumped in. He was in at slot 7, so we had to start again. But as I said in the video, that is kind of like the... there's a realistic example of what can happen, right? You can't just say, oh yeah, every time you put this unit on your team, you're just going to jump in and you're going to win straight away because he's invincible. It's not quite that good. Because there is always going to be some RNG involved. 7-year LR. SSJ for Goku and Vegeta / Gogeta and Supreme. Mid, yeah, of course, yeah, he's mid. Has met my expectation. I mean, I think the thing is, when we saw their details yesterday, obviously we got an impression of how ridiculously good they're going to be. But like I said in the video yesterday where we talked about their details, is they absolutely surpassed my expectations for how good they made them. I really thought they were just going to kind of do, maybe not like the bare minimum, but it's things like we said, the fact that they had guard for 1 turn, and we all really wanted them to have guard for an extra turn, and then they just straight up made it guard for 7 turns, which is obviously very, very good. So yeah, they're incredibly powerful. So do that. Do that. Yeah, they're very orb hungry, that is true. Like as a support memory, Rainbow Orb Changer definitely going to be helpful. That's, yeah, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks stocks up again because he's on both of the teams, like the full leader skill. And he's obviously just a very good unit anyway. But yeah, the fact that now his Rainbow Orb Changing is going to be super helpful for these guys. Right, Super Bosses is the weakness for... I just realised I put Zamasu as the lead, but Zamasu doesn't actually have a Super Bosses leader skill.
All right, let's do this.
And yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, obviously, because even with the gods, he's still supporting Power Beyond Super Saiyan allies, so he supports the gods as well, even though he's not going to have the links. So we'll probably still use him on the team, we just won't use him as like the main rotation partner. Make sure I turn those off, otherwise they're going to play every single stage. Ready to post the link. Alright, so the video is up. You guys know the drill at this point. Even if you were here for the recording, do your boy a solid and click the link, open up the video, leave me a comment, let me know you came over from the stream, and yeah, we'll get the gods EZA done here and do the showcase for them. Just as the Doma design. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the giant hands, but obviously the future stuff is going to be very cool. Although it'd be funny, we were saying this the other day, it would be really funny if they didn't actually put him on Giant 8 power and put him on like Demonic power instead. But I feel like for Dokkan, they must know some of this stuff. We don't know how much they know in advance about like the shows. Obviously, they know enough, right? Because like UI Goku came out the day after the episode played in Japan, so they obviously know this stuff a certain amount in advance. And so I would imagine they had all this stuff planned long enough that that's the reason, one of the reasons why Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a giant 8 power like lead and a giant 8 power like supporting character, because they know that those giant 8 power like buffs are going to be coming, right? So this whole match just absolutely destroy them in slot 1. That's what we like to see. None of this messing around taking the whole rotation to kill them nonsense.
All right, let's do this.
Of course, it's still in there. Alright, save that. Long fight. Yeah, the Heroes EZAs, when we eventually get them, I'm assuming, because we don't know, obviously they're not doing a Heroes celebration anymore, but they're still going to EZA the characters that need EZAs. We don't know whether that means that they'll still just be in November or not. Because obviously there's not going to be a Heroes celebration in November. So in theory, the EZAs could be any time they feel like it. Like, they could quite easily just do, like, let's say a Daima Giant 8 thing comes out, they could just drop the EZAs for the limit breakers in that celebration. No, I don't think necessarily that that's what they would do, but that's the thing that they could do. Because yeah, having to wait till November would suck. Because it's not like, you know, the 7 years and like the AGL Goku. It's not like I'd be worried that they'd age out by then, but it would be annoying if we had to wait that long for them to get their EZAs. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 hair design at first, because obviously Heroes have already done it, and they just did the normal Super Saiyan 3 type hair. I mean, Dokkan's already done it. We've got the normal one, and the GT one, and the Xeno one, and now we've got like the official like Daima one, and it looks completely different. It has grown on me since I first saw it, especially the adult version. But like, I am a big fan of Super Saiyan 3, so I like the original hair like design. But either way, it's still cool. It'd be cool to see it in the game at some point. But yeah, Divers apparently isn't doing so well. I mean, a lot of people weren't happy, yeah, about them just stopping Heroes after so long. And then the small bit of like pittance that those people got in return was, it's like, wow, there's a game mode on the arcade machine where you can use the Heroes cards, but not the main one, just the like side thing you can do. It'd be like if they made the example that I gave when we were talking about it is it's like if they made Dokkan 2, they just stopped making any content for Dokkan, the game was just dead, but they brought out Dokkan 2, and you couldn't carry across anything, you just literally had to start again, except there was like Super Battle Road, and you could use all your cards from Dokkan 1, but that was it, like, and you couldn't use them anywhere else in the game. That was like essentially the equivalent of what they did. And so for a lot of people, like, you know, some people do really like Super Battle Road. A lot of other people are like, well, is that it? Like, I don't really care. Like, that's all I get to do with my Heroes cards that I spent years, like, collecting and buying and stuff. So, yeah, it seems from what I've been hearing, Divers hasn't been particularly popular so far. Plus, the thing is, one of the reasons why I like it is a lot of people like Heroes because it has all the crazy what-if characters and transformations and stuff, and Divers doesn't have any of that. So, if that was the key thing that was drawing someone to play Heroes, then that draw isn't there for them to play Divers. So, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Well, yeah, exactly, apart from try another way to make money, because it's a whole new set of collectible cards and stuff that people have to buy. I just thought, Cell Max is a Super Boss leader skill, isn't it? I should just be bringing a Cell Max friend. Because even if it's a slightly lower leader skill for the friend, he'll be able to do a lot more damage than AGL Broly's not critting. Could have had Super Saiyan 4 and make a Vegeta and Evolution Vegeta. Yeah, Blue Evolution Gogeta, that would have been great. If Divers was just Heroes 2 with a bigger budget, I think they would have been fine. Yeah, potentially. Especially with all the Super Saiyan, like the Giant 8 power buffs. Like, imagine we finally got Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, or like Kaioken Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Alright, let's do this.
To go along with like the anniversary Goku and the 7 years, and then like Daima stuff, like. Would have been crazy. But no, now we just have to wait and hope that the EZAs for... Because isn't it the EZAs this year? It's going to be the Limit Breaker Goku and Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Gohan and Super Saiyan 4 Bardock. So, like, we're going to get 4 big Giant 8 Power / Super Saiyan 4 buffs. Like I say, we potentially have to wait until November, but... that's going to be really cool. Yeah, they'll bring back the summon. I imagine there'll be a banner for the EZA characters again. Like, whenever they do the EZAs, like every year with the Hero Celebration, we had the specific banner that was only for the EZA characters. I feel like they will do that again, because obviously the characters are still getting EZAs, so you'll be able to get them if you don't have them. But there won't be a new banner, because there won't be any new characters. Hey, no worries, Apathy, have a good one. I wonder what they'll do with blue coins now, yeah, because they're basically just there for Kais. Although, I guess, without heroes being a thing as well, there's barely any banners that even utilise them anymore. We haven't seen those, the 50% support, they became the 60% supports, but we haven't seen those banners for a long time. Of course, we could get 7 orbs with the first and third character, but not the character that actually needs 7 orbs. But yeah, those mono support banners, when was the last time they were even out? The Dragon Fist, Goku, and Hirudegarn, right? Which was like April last year for Global and New Year for JP. So on JP it's been, what, over a year since they came out. See you later, Gareth. Don't the 50% supports rerun every 4 years? I don't know if it's specifically every 4 years, but yeah. I think they've only been out a couple of times. 3 or 4 times, maybe. But yeah, it's been a while since they've been available. Which the stupid thing about it is they made them so that on release they were quite good. But now, because they have been gone for like a year or so, and we've had the power creep in that time, like they're not usable in the difficult content anymore. So let's say even if they did bring those banners back, like at the end, let's say even at the end of the anniversary, like those characters are all outdated now. Like they get absolutely destroyed in the anniversary content. So there wouldn't even really be any real reason to summon for them. Yeah, it was with the New Year. It was the same celebration as the New Year Hirudegarn and Dragon Fist Goku. Because they got their EZAs around the same time LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku got his EZA. I think it was like the week after or something.
Alright, let's do this.
But yeah, they're only really useful for Battlefield as like sub-leads or category supports. Like that's basically it. Or like typing supports, because as we said before, I still use the mono teams to do Battlefield. The new Supreme Magnificent Battle is long and surprisingly hits hard. Yeah, because the previous Supreme Magnificent Battle stages haven't been all that, have they? Like in terms of difficulty. Using Xeno Vegeta for his support and triple super attack power. Yeah, him and the Goku could still be kind of useful, because Goku can stun in the first phase and has damage reduction on the first turn. But for either of them, the problem is if you get to turn like, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, and they get hit by a super, then they're just instantly dead. But I mean, with the difficult events now, like especially battle hardened foes, like that's a lot of units in the game can't tank the super attacks from those bosses. So got 2 new LRs this week: Beast, STR Gohan, and Physical Trunks. Oh, the Sword of Hope one. Yeah, it's pretty good. Physical Trunks is not particularly great anymore. I say anymore, people didn't really like him on release, to be honest. But Beast Gohan is still good. It's funny that there's a lot of people saying that Beast has like fallen off because some of these bosses now are hitting, in that one particular event, right, the Battle Hardened Foes thing, some of the bosses are hitting so ridiculously hard now that he's not a super good slot 1 tank. But he still is very good on the team. And in that short type event, the fact that you can he can take a hit on the first turn, and then on his next turn use the active skill with the target ability, I think is still really, really good.
All right, let's do this.
So yeah, he might not be like... I mean, he's not in contention for being number 1 anymore, I think, with how hard some of the stages are. But... Is he top 5? If we think that, like, the anniversary LRs in the 7 years are, like, 1 to 4, like, regardless of the order you think they are, if they're 1 to 4, is Beast 5? Potentially. Bringer... Yeah, I would say Battlefield Memories, honestly, at this point, with how bad most of the Battlefield LRs are, I would say don't bother picking up copies of the ones you don't have, and essentially just wait to see, like, when the next EZA comes out, which I think, yeah, should be the Shadow Dragons. Wait to see whether their EZA is good, and then if it is, then obviously you can buy the medals for them and stuff, and if it's not, you don't have to bother. And then when the next unit gets their EZA, because that's the thing, like, it's like, by the time one of the Battlefield units gets their EZAs, all 5 copies will be available in the shop. So it's like, I bought 1 copy of this Anaraza so he could do the 55% showcase when he came out, but I haven't bought any more copies of him. I haven't bought any more copies of Freezer and Cell, and literally, even though it might be like 2 years from now, when he finally gets his EZA, if he's actually good, then I'll buy the extra copies of him and do like a rainbow showcase. If he's not good, then I'll just EZA him. I'll get the medals still, which will cost some Battlefield memories, and do like a 55% EZA showcase for him. But I don't think it's worth, with the amount of the medals they give out not really being decently proportionate to how many you need to spend on things in the shop. It's worth saving them, I think. The only time I think it would be good to pick up a new Battlefield LR is if they do actually bring one out and they are really, really good on release, like even at 55%, which, you know, is probably unlikely. So, at 2% for Gogeta, get a 45 million attack stat counter just for UI Goku to dodge. Damn, yeah, you can dodge the counter, that's kind of brutal. But yeah, there's this similar power creep to the 7th year, where like 90% of the units in the game are just not good enough defensively against the bosses. When it comes to actually like taking super attacks, there's a bunch of units that can still tank normals relatively well, and then it's just like, if that unit gets supered on this turn, I'm dead. And there are so many units that are in that situation, even on some of the best teams. Which is kind of crazy. Alright, stage 10.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah, the GT bosses mission. I think a lot of people resorted to getting the Shadow Dragons because of that GT bosses mission. Oh, this is a terrible turn for orbs, isn't it? Yeah, this one has taken a little bit longer than the Super Saiyan Force one. Even though Super Bosses isn't the craziest team. Yeah, it's funny to think, because it's like back then, like a few years back, like we weren't thinking about like, oh, you know, if I just keep buying all these copies of the Battlefield LRs when they come out with the Battlefield points, like in 3 years time I'm not going to have enough points to buy the newest one that comes out because the mode doesn't give out enough points. Like, I don't think anyone was really thinking that like a few years back, and then it was only when we got to that point and it was like, oh, because for me it was during Golden Week when we got Goku and Fat Boo and they EZA'd Barbary and Deborah, and I couldn't do their EZA because I didn't have enough Battlefield memories. I think it's because I'd literally just bought, like, just before Golden Week, I'd bought, like, the newest copy of, like, the free one that came into the shop. Power creep from the 9th anniversary was bigger than the 10th. Yeah, I don't think so. Were there any bosses that... Because, like, I guess the fights from the 9th anniversary that were annoying were, like, Gogeta having the AoE and being really powerful after supering, and then, like, Beast Gohan having the rotation locking. But none of them were, you know... Rotation locking was the most annoying part about the Beast fight. It wasn't that you didn't have units that could tank his super. It was the fact that he would probably lock someone who couldn't tank his super in slot 1. And then super in slot 1. But yeah, like... And I also feel like with all 4 of the headliners from the anniversary, like, their teams, or just them as a unit in general, were perfectly fine for, like, all of the content. Whereas this one, like, I said during, you know, when we had the part 2 summons, and I managed to turn my luck around, and then I did the videos with, like, the battle-hardened foes, like, not pulling Vegito in slot 1, or Goku in part 1, I should say, like, made it feel so much more difficult, like, the content. And then the new stages that have come out are even harder than those initial ones. Like, it definitely feels like for some of these red zone stages, like the red zone stage that has the Jiren and Topo, where it goes from locking into disabling dodge, like, and then that Jiren has, like, how much HP? 5 million or something. His super's for like 5 million. It genuinely feels like if you don't have the new teams, like, you're going to struggle so much with that stage. It's not like it's impossible, and you do have, like, you know, you can use an item and a support memory, but, like, I can imagine people getting very frustrated, especially when you're, as we said before, in videos and stuff, you get like 20 minutes into the run and then die. And for people who don't play the game a crazy amount, like, every day, then yeah, I feel like the power creep from this anniversary is definitely up there. Similar to the 7-year, but definitely not... definitely not the... on the same, the 9th anniversary is not on the same level, is what I should say. Favorite player ammo? I think the pineapple coconut one's really good. The Dragon Ball Saga one. I got the Kid Goku. I think it's been turned slightly, because Sif will play with it when he gets up onto that top platform. But the yellow shaker in the background is the Kid Goku one. Right, finally done with the gods. Hopefully we won't die and have to restart, and then we'll be able to get the this knocked out here nice and quick. Awaken these guys. Yeah, long events as well is just not great for some characters who are only good for the first, like, even 6 or 7 turns, and that was perfectly fine before, but now it's that's too long. So how long some of these events are and how much HP the characters are having is ridiculous. 83 million for Gogeta. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Jiren locks and AoEs. Not every unit can be... Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's very different. Like I say, when you have every single unit in the game rainbowed, it's things are not as difficult. Not going to be as difficult as they are for other people. Right, so let's take you off, and then we'll put the gods on, and we'll put Gogeta, Gotenks on, so that we get the orb changing. The only thing is going to be on this team, really, for them, is that we don't have the like god links. I mean, I guess we could put on, but why would we take off Vegito? That's the thing. Because we could put on, like, I was going to say Blue Evolution Vegeta, but... Because remember, Goku will be supporting them because they're Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So there's no point, I think, taking him off the team. I guess we'll just have to see. We'll just do it like this and see what happens. But yeah, I'll do the right... that's the Goku story one. I'll do the right red zone stage this time.
All right, let's do this.
Nice. Got him on turn 1. I have to float off the Vegeta though, so we're not going to have a great turn 2 in terms of slot 1. Who've we got on turn 2? I guess we'll have to use Gotenks and hope he just doesn't immediately get killed. Right. Let's change over to the... let's put up the... I mean, it's still the Gogeta team, but I don't want to use the same overlay, so I'll just put up the Vegito one, I guess. Okay. Right. Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so now we are going to jump in and check out the Tech Gods EZA. Now, obviously in base, like pre-transformed, they basically have the same passive as the Super Saiyan 4s, right? So we know exactly what to expect. We've got the 77% damage reduction on turn 1, guard for 7 turns. We get our bit of crit chance with the rainbow orbs, a little bit of extra stats with the rainbow orbs. We get a guaranteed additional super on turn 1, and then of course depending on the amount of ki that we're able to get. So we've actually got... really? What is it with these guys? Both of these showcases for the gods and the Super Saiyan 4s, like, we just get terrible ki on the first turn. Like, what is the deal with that? But yeah, of course they have the new animation as well. It's them taking their stances there. Okay, we can get those orbs, I guess. Why did that change? Wasn't it only picking up the green ones before? Alright, well, I'll take that because we can get the 20 ki now. So, but yeah, they exactly the same as the Super Saiyan 4s. We've got greatly raised attack and defense on both of our super attacks. And then we've got our damage reduction, guard for 7 turns, 2 extra ki per type ki spheres, obviously very good. Each ki sphere we pick up, we get 10% attack and defense up to 77%. We get 10% crit chance of each rainbow orb, and then 17 ki and 20 ki both give an additional super guaranteed, and 20 ki gives them attacks effective against all types. So we've got 424k defense start of turn after picking up the orbs. So bear in mind they also have 77% damage reduction and guard. So that's going to be very good for them here on this turn. We need to get you floated off. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Obviously we're going to tank any normals for double digit damage, and then the first super 11 mil. Now the thing with these guys that stands out the most, I think, compared to the gods, the Super Saiyan 4s, when it comes to this Gogeta team, is that we've got the Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku here, because he provides support to Power Beyond Super Saiyan characters. So he's going to be supporting the gods in the same way that he supports Gogeta. But obviously for Gogeta, he's also a really good link partner, because we have Saiyan Raw, which is a very important link for Gogeta, whereas the gods have some of these like Realm of Gods type links, which we don't really have anyone on the team that has those, right? And in terms of like the meta relevant Realm of Gods characters, we've got like the UI Gokus, who of course can still be a risk in content because of the dodge, leaving it all down to RNG. And then we've got like the new Blue Evolution Vegeta, but he wants another Universe Survival Saga character on the team, realistically, for him to be at his full potential. I could see you using him as like a floating unit, or even, I guess if you're going to use the gods as a slot 1 for a large part of the event, like having him in slot 2, because that Blue Evolution Vegeta, as much as he does get like memed on, he is a good slot 2 unit. Once he starts getting his attacks off, he can be pretty solid. But obviously with this team, we're using these new, like the 7-year anniversary LRs, and depending on how you want to run your rotations, ideally you want to be running the 10th anniversary LRs like on the team as well. So what I need to do here is, I mean, do we just put Gotenks in slot 1? What's this Goku Black's attack? Okay, yeah, his normals don't do a lot. His super only does 1 million. I mean, Gotenks would have to get his defense proc to not take a huge amount of damage, but we'll go ahead and do that. Trying to save some orbs. I mean, we probably, I guess the saving the orbs doesn't really matter, because we probably just kill him on this turn. But yeah, obviously the release of the 7-year EZAs makes this Gogeta team stocks through the roof, because Gogeta of course gives them the full 220% lead, whereas the Vegeta doesn't, right? Because they both count as fusion category characters, because the gods fuse into Gogeta in their active skill, even though the card doesn't fuse into Gogeta. So they're both on fusion, and obviously they're not on Potara or Earthbred Fighters, because it's a Goku and Vegeta card. Obviously in the future, as we know, if we get Goku plus Vegeta cards, they're going to be on all the categories that Goku and Vegeta are on, so that would be fine. But these older ones obviously are not, so that definitely increases the value of Gogeta's leader skill. Whereas we talked about in the past, like when we did the tier list, like when the Part 2 units first came out, Vegeta's leader skill I would say was way better. Whereas obviously Gogeta's leader skill now includes the 7-year LRs, who are 2 of the best units in the game with these EZAs, right? So it'd be interesting to see how this is going to play out. So we take out Goku Black and we move on to STR Zamasu. So let's see, what are we looking like here for the gods? There's 2 attacks in slot 1. They're at 1.5 million defense on the second turn, and they still have guard. Zamasu does hit for 2.8 million, but as we can actually get a decent number of orbs here, so 5 puts them up to 1.6 million. It's pretty good. I did build my gods. They should be mainly dodge and additional. They got 21 additional, 12 dodge. You could probably make them a little bit more dodge, I think, especially if we are essentially going to start using, well, the key for everyone else is pretty bad. Start using the strategy where we are using them as a slot 1 unit, like early on in the event. But yeah, we'll get Goku floated off here, because we don't want to keep him on rotation like we did with Gogeta, because he's not his like main link partner. But yeah, as long as I don't super you in slot 1, obviously the gods tank for double digits perfectly fine. 16 mil. Their pre-transformation attack stats are not anything like super crazy, but I mean that's fine. Right, they're still doing a reasonable amount of damage. We got the key, so we get the 17 key additional super, then we get the 20 key additional super, and then obviously ideally we get the hidden potential additional as well. Get these stacks in here. Okay, we got the hidden potential additional, but it was a normal, and then he dodged it anyway, so but yeah, we'll probably do, I guess, the same thing we did for Gogeta and transform them straight away, so we can see their, I guess, like bare minimum performance. But yeah, Gogeta, I knew Vegeta would take some damage if he got supered, which is annoying. I mean, I guess that does line us up for getting the Goku transformation here. Although they're floating him off now.
Mind your own business, Kakarot. Yeah, I get it. I've never faced someone this strong before. I'm getting excited.
Let's float off Gotenks. So you have 200% guard, 300% and guard for 3 turns. So yeah, we'll keep you there. Our HP really isn't low enough. What is it? 40% or less? Are you serious? Our HP isn't low enough to get the giant ape transformation. That's crazy. Oh, well, we'll do that. But yeah, we need a new meta-relevant like gods character would be really good. But obviously, considering stuff that we are expecting to come out in the future with like some of the Daima buffs and stuff like that, none of that is going to be like Realm of Gods related. So it'd be interesting to see. I guess something we've been talking about for a long time is Dokkan Fest like God Vegeta would be really nice. Transforming with the animation from the movie where he like flies up and goes from Super Saiyan to God. That'd be great. I talked about it in like the video where we were talking about potential future reversible exchange characters. It would be nice to see like a redo for the ROF Blues, because obviously their Dokkan Fest was super disappointing. Otherwise, in terms of like God characters, we got a new God Goku not that long ago. I mean, it's a couple of years back for Saiyan Day now, but in terms of big Dokkan Fest, I don't imagine he would be like an upcoming new one. A new standalone Vegito Blue is probably not something that we would see outside of like a big celebration. So yeah, that's the only downside to these guys, is having those like God specific links. I mean, it's not like it holds them back a huge amount, right? We're still seeing them perform decently well on this run, but yeah, the ROF Blues EZA, maybe they could save them with an EZA, who knows. Of course, again though, being a Goku and Vegeta, well, they're an exchange card, so are they on all the Goku categories? So then they would be on Vegito's 220 lead. Right, so we can fuse straight away here. What are we up to now? 2 million defense start of turn with guard. So I'm pretty sure like Zamasu can't do damage to them. Now I did say that we would go ahead and get like the bare minimum transformation for Vegito, but like I feel like if we get some more stacks in here, because he's not going to super in slot 1, he supered at the end of the last turn, so we basically just get guaranteed like 3 extra stacks for them. But especially because Vegito, like the last phase against Goku Black and Zamasu, they have so much HP. So I think we will do that. And then next turn, yeah, next turn we can get the other Gogeta out, so we'll have a Scouter, so we can have a bit more control over the turn. But yeah, obviously they're going to tank for double-digit damage. 2 million defense and guard. I think they're going to be okay here. Up to 19 mil. Yeah, Zamasu dodging is super annoying, because we're just trying to kill him and get on to the next phase. And Bro's out here dodging our attacks. In fact, I think we might be in trouble in slot 3 with Goku, because so many turns have passed now. I don't think that Goku has his damage reduction anymore. Fortunately, it all depends on how much he dodges, because Vegeta should be okay, I think, here to finish him off, but if he starts dodging all Vegeta's attacks, that's going to be bad for us. Or if Vegeta only does additional normals. Alright, cool. Okay, so this final phase is a crazy one for sure. Okay, at least we know we can do this. Oh, I've got the animations on still. I still think one of the worst changes they made, I've said this multiple times in the past and I'm sure I'll say it multiple times again in the future, but one of the worst changes they made when they updated the UI and like they added in the ability to skip other animations was just putting them all as one option. So it's like you either skip all the animations or none. Whereas obviously like for the videos, sometimes I like to get the transformations and stuff in, but not the intros, or vice versa. But you can't have one or the other turned on anymore. So yeah, so they immediately supered in slot 1 for 4.8 million damage, but Great Ape just eats that. And now it cancels out their super for the next turn, cancels out the healing for the next turn. So Great Ape just doing a little bit of free damage here. Not a crazy amount, and these guys have a crazy amount of HP. But obviously the God's going to be kind of thriving because we're tech. I mean, we can get effective against all types anyway, right? So get Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We got a Vegeta on the next turn, so probably should keep you here. Yeah, let's remember to do this first. And then I won't use that straight away, I guess. Let's leave some tech orbs on the field, I suppose, for the gods. Alright, so they can't super this turn, so Vegeta's obviously going to be fine. Just the thing with these guys, like some of these bosses now having such an insane amount of HP. They just take so long to kill, which combined with the fact that they can then do so much damage with their super attack that like even on some of the better teams, like if the wrong unit on the turn takes the super, you could potentially die like from full health. Those two things together are what makes these new events so difficult, right? Because if you could just speed blitz the boss and kill them in like 2 turns, which obviously depending on the timing you kind of can do with like the 10th year if you get both their fusions on the same turn and like the double active skill turn and all that crazy stuff. Which is why we were saying earlier about like power creep earlier in the stream, and like it does genuinely feel like for some of these events now it's going to be such a huge struggle if you don't have the new teams, like the new units. It's not like it's impossible to do it with 200% leads, especially with some of these new EZAs like the 7 years, but man, the 10 years just put out such an insane amount of damage on those active skill like fusion turns. It really helps to like finish off these fights that have mountains of HP. Because I mean, even without the active skill turn, like Vegeta does some pretty good damage here, but as you can see, like it's not like we've made a huge dent in their HP, and then they heal every turn as well, as if that wasn't enough. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our transformation into the blues here. We've got 2.6 million defense start of turn.
Let's do this, Vegeta! Damn you! a Super Saiyan God. I'm
All
going to
right.
have fun destroying you.
So now we've got these guys out. Get our bit of orb changing. So they're at 2.64 million before we pick up the orbs. And then obviously we go ahead and get the other Gogeta out here. Now we're not going to use the active skill this turn because we want to see them build up first. So we're at 2.64. We can get 8 orbs with 4 rainbow orbs. So we'll go ahead and do that. So 3.1 million defense start of turn. And just like Gogeta, we have 77% damage reduction on the first turn, 300% stats, 2 extra key per orb, attacks effective against all types, guard, then they have the high chance to crit as well. And then for them, they have the medium chance to dodge, and they change int orbs to rainbow. For 4 turns, they change another type of orb to rainbow, and then they get the 10% attack and defense up to 100, chance to crit and chance to dodge rather than damage reduction 10%. So we got 4 orbs with them. So they have a 70% dodge chance on this turn, as well as having the 77% damage reduction. So they can't really take damage on this first turn anyway. And then they get the extra super with 7 or more key spheres obtained, which we got. Attacking with 20 more key, which we have. Another additional super, 24 key, 50% attack. And then they have the below 50% HP. If the enemy's below 50%, they get a guaranteed crit and an additional super. And then if we are at 50% or less HP, they will guarantee dodge on that turn only. So, I mean, 3.1 million start of turn is pretty good. With guard, and obviously on turn 1, 77% damage reduction. So, let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, 41 million on the first turn. At least Zamasu and Rose like have enough HP that we'll actually be able to get some of these attacks off. 31 mil on the additional. And there's those crits. We get another one up to 34. So that's already over 100 million attack stat worth of attacks they've done in this turn. And then there's another one. So now we're getting close to 150 million worth of attacks. And there's another one. So, yeah, we're at like 180 million. I don't know if they can get another one, if this is the hidden potential one or not. Because if they get another super, no, okay, that would put them at like over 200 million attack stat worth of attacks in one turn, which is kind of ridiculous. But there you go, they dodged the super. Not that they need to, because they are not only massively raising for 4 turns on the 18 key, same as Gogeta, they have the raise on the 12 key as well, which they did an extra like 3 of. So their defense at that point was like, what, 6 million or something like that, with guard and damage reduction. Pretty good. The next turn they're going to look so ridiculous. Massively raised buff and then the Gogeta active skill buff. Like, actually crazy. Although we might not even see the next turn because they've done so much damage. Like, this is the thing, these guys have a lot of HP and they heal, but we might actually kill them on the next turn, maybe. Well, maybe not. They heal pretty much like a bar of HP each time. Gotenks hasn't been hit first, so he's not going to do crazy damage. But yeah, you can see the big difference. Like, obviously, we have the fusion. Like, the big difference between the 7 years, the Gods and the Super Saiyan 4s is Gogeta has a guaranteed Scouter, which is really useful. But around the time that you're going to transform the Blues, if you are running them with the Tech Vegeta or AGL Gogeta, it's around the time that you're going to fuse with them, and they have a Scouter for the turns that they're out. So you can still sort of play accordingly. Okay, so yeah, the animations are off. Let's get Vegito out here. I'm not going to use the active skill because obviously ideally we want to get another turn with the Gods. It's too hard to not get key with Vegito though as well. So yeah, they heal. That's the thing on the next turn. We might get another turn, but I'm not sure if we'll actually be able to use Gogeta's active skill, because Gogeta's active skill might end up killing them if they do even survive this turn. Which they might not, because obviously Vegito's going to get some counters. I maybe shouldn't have put him in the middle, because even in the end slot there's 2 attacks for him to be able to counter. But I mean, that just shows you how like ridiculous this team is. The damage output once the fusions come out is just insane. And then you throw the 7 years on there as well. Like I say, the gods on that previous turn did over 180 million attack stat worth of attacks in that one turn. And then they dodged the super, which they would have tanked for double-digit damage anyway. And then because of the massively raised for 4 turns, it just means on the next appearance they're going to be even stronger than that. So... okay, yeah, fortunately Vegito's counter's not doing crazy damage, because it's not the active skill turn. If he doesn't crit, they're not doing as much as well, which is good. Of course, he then crits on the next, like, 2. Don't crit? Okay, of course. Literally crit on every single one since I said that, but okay. But yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing, is having both of them on because for the sake of the showcase, we're only using one of them on the team. But when we start using them in some of these other events and stuff, obviously the way to do it is to have both of them on the team. And then I guess you either run the AGL Gogeta on rotation or float both the Gogetas. Because then you could have Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku on rotation with one of them. And then... oh god, we got the double Gogeta active skill turn. So yeah, start of turn now, these guys, with the massively raised for 4 turns, there's their animation as well. Didn't really focus on that on the first turn. It's pretty cool. 3.3 million before we pick up the orbs. I wonder if will they do the 9999 damage active skill if we do Gogeta's thing? Let's see. So yeah, we use Gogeta's active skill, and their defense goes up to 5 million start of turn, and they have guard, so they actually just can't take damage anyway, regardless of whether we dodge or not. Like, they can't take damage. So I mean, they are just absolutely ridiculous. The only real danger, as we said earlier, and for the Gogeta video, is like turn 3, but I suppose, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's put them in slot 1. Alright, so we're going to hit the 999 with them. I assume we probably are.
Now it's my turn.
Yep. Yeah, like we were saying before about like what boss in the game is surviving this turn when we were talking about like Vegito and Gogeta. But like what boss in the game is surviving the turn with like the 7-year EZAs and then the Gogeta active skill? Who is the leader that you're going to be running them both on the same team? Like, that is ridiculous. Alright, well there you go. So that's the thing, the gods are absolutely insane. Don't take the fact that, like I say, I think the Super Saiyan 4s are slightly better. I think Gogeta is slightly better than the gods. That doesn't mean that the gods are not good, obviously. They are absolutely insane. That, like, 5 million defense start of turn. Like, it's one of those things that's torn between doing the active skill or just attacking with them. Because if they did a 43 million attack on the first turn before they got massively raised, after the massively raise and the Gogeta active skill, we're probably talking like 60 to 70 million on that first 18 key super potentially. But obviously we want to see the active skill, and then that just absolutely wipes them out. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you prefer the gods or the Super Saiyan 4s? They're both incredibly good, and we'll be jumping in and trying out some other stuff with them as well. As the days go on, we've got new stages for the other events coming out on Friday as well, so still more stuff going before the anniversary ends. But yeah, crazy units. So let me know what you guys think of the 7-year EZAs down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one. Okay, so there we go. Gonna get that uploaded straight away. We are just in time for the end of the stream. That's the thing with these showcases now for some of these units, is like we don't want to showcase them in the events that are too easy, because these units are so powerful. We need enough turns for them to like build up and get the fusions and stuff. But then obviously the harder events take longer to beat. So in the whole stream we managed to get both the EZAs done and the showcases, and then that finished basically just in time. So going to be wrapping up the stream here. Obviously there's other stuff that's out today, but will be more videos coming out today and tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying the EZAs. Hopefully you guys have got them both done by now and had a chance to test them out. But yeah, definitely going to be very useful for all the new stuff coming out. Any of these new difficult stages you haven't beaten yet, these guys are obviously going to be very, very good for that. So we'll be trying them out in a bunch of other stages. So that's it from me. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new, give a follow if you're over on the Twitch side. Do check out the second channel, the link is pinned in the chat, and do check out the Instagram as well. Like I say, there's going to be gameplay clips and stuff getting posted over there. Only just had it set up. Shout outs again to Little Blue, but do go check that out, give it a follow if you use Instagram. And yeah, that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoy the units, enjoy the new content, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.